Good morning. You like the red face? Good morning. I'm so, like, not allowed to say good morning unless it's to Panda. Good morning, Panda. Hi. Hello. Holy shit. Hi, guys. Whoa, start screen? I've been using my start screens. Because believe it or not, when you end the stream, you get to have a start screen again. Isn't that crazy? What is your problem? I don't know what you want. Hi, I don't know what you want. Yo, the frog in the back jamming? I sure hope he is. Today I noticed that on my fridge, there's a magnet that I used to have in my high school locker. If anybody can guess what the magnet is, you get a cookie. Guess what the magnet is of. I believe in you guys. Come on. Tadpole? No. Pepe the Frog? Absolutely not. Why are you guys both so close but so far? You guys, no. No. No, it's literally just a normal frog. Yeah. The hell? Anyway. It's just a normal frog. Let's see how long I can stream for today. I was in bed, bored out of my mind, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be bored on my computer. So I booted up my computer, and then I am on my computer, and my ass is already hurting. So, you know, here we are. We'll see how long I last. Basically, we'll see how long I last. Look at this cute fox. Isn't she cute? Isn't she the cutest? A new intro? It's not actually new, so. Okay. So here's what I have so far on this model. It's like basically nothing. I've only rigged the things that I like sort of have felt like rigging. Angle X? Nah. Angle Y though? Yeah, sure. Let's rig angle Y. So I did like the bare minimum for angle Y. Literally just because I wanted to see what I was gonna do with the like ear. And also like test out some angle stuff for the chin. And while I do think it looks okay, it does need some more work. For sure. Something's off here. And then here's the other thing I worked on. Hair! I've done a lot with the hair. Yeah, look how fluffy the hair is, chat. Isn't it pretty? You can't see, my head is in the way. Why did none of you tell me my head? Ah! Anyway. Fluffy hair. We're still working on it, though. I'm a little unhappy with the braid. I'm gonna work on it and tweak on it. Tweak on it? Tweak it. But yeah. Maybe I want to finish the hair before I do anything else. I don't know. I just realized the braids aren't symmetrical. I actually need to mesh and like do this. Wait, are they symmetrical? I don't even fucking know. Let's find out. Let's find out. Yeah, pretty much symmetrical. We have like a hair here and like not a hair there. And this hair is different. But it'll be pretty easy to fix. I also learned some stuff about meshing since I did this, so it should be even nicer. Right, let's do it. Let's do it, chat. I feel like it's been a while since I like rigged with you guys. Is this true? Chat, is this true? You don't know? It's true. It's 100% true. I guess I'm on this side of the screen today. It's hard to, like, rig. Let's see. Or, sorry, it's hard to do art. That's too much. That's too little. That's also too little. That's just right. Because my big head is in the way all the time. So I was told that you can, like, adjust the size of things, but I don't know how. Never mind. Huh. Like these circles, you're supposed to be able to adjust the width of stuff. So like if you want it to taper off, a couple weeks now. No, it's been much longer than that. I really should have saved that tweet, but I didn't think I needed it. Yo, this goes so much better when you know, like, shortcuts. Because I just figured out a shortcut when I was trying to figure out how to make everything taper off, and that was really useful. So... Alright. And this hurts my brain. Am I missing a point, like here? No. Yes. No. No. I'm not. Does that look right? That doesn't look right, because there's an extra point right there. Okay. Yeah, okay. Meshing! Yay, so fun. Why is it doing... Alright. I've been so, like, tired lately. But tired in a... I don't feel like doing anything kind of way. But, like, I should feel like doing things kind of way. 'Cause, like, there's nothing wrong. I just don't feel like doing anything. Or, like, the things that I feel like doing, I want to be streaming them. But I can't stream them. Because I don't have a chair, you know? And it's very frustrating. Chairs are evil? I think they lost my chair in the mail. I think I ordered my chair and then they just kind of like lost it. 'Cause I got my tracking number within a reasonable amount of time. The FedEx page is shit, but I think that's just like FedEx period. And the last tracking location it has is Portland, Oregon. And as we know, I'm not anywhere near there anymore, you know? I think the chair is just lost to the void. So I'm like debating, do I buy another chair? Do I message support? Like, what do I do? I don't think I'm gonna get that chair anytime soon, you know? Hi, Rickles. Do I have a date for my chair? No, of course not. They said it was gonna be here whatever day that I said, oh, fake news or whatever. We're gonna stream because I'm getting my chair tomorrow. But the thing is, they like gave that date, but that was just like the estimate based on when the label was printed. The chair hasn't been tracked since its initial move. Like, they basically lost it. Like, I don't know if they actually lost it, but the tracking is lost, you know? For a chair, you would go somewhere in person? There's nowhere in person. I am almost certain of this. Like, I could go to Office Depot or whatever, but I'd get the same level of shitty chair as the one that I, like, bought on Amazon that completely broke within, like, a few months. I am 100% sure that chair wouldn't last, which is why I wanted to order one. No? I'm not sure what that means. You... like... what do you mean? I don't think there's anywhere that sells chairs around here unless I want something extremely high-end, which I cannot afford. Like, I could go to the fanciest furniture store around or some shit, but that's like... Not only is it probably not what I want, I don't really want a leather chair, like, I don't think they'd have anything else. Ow! What is this? What are these 3 dots? Get out of here. I'm so torn on how I feel about this model artist. Because on some things, they did such a good job. I feel like this person has like a really good understanding of like artwork and what makes art look pretty, but they don't have the best understanding of like what is needed for live 2D models, if that makes sense. Cause like some things they did, which are really uncommon for live 2D models, and the reason they're uncommon for live 2D models is because they make it harder to rig. So for example, the fact that these hair pieces aren't symmetrical, it makes the art look so much better, but it is less common literally because it makes the art harder to rig. Because being able to just be like, yeah, copy paste is quite nice. I think it's just this piece down here now. But yeah, if I get a replacement chair, obviously I'd ask the company that lost my chair in shipping to like replace it, or I guess refund it in this case. But I might just get one where it's like a company that's too big to like lose their chairs in shipping. I don't know. I just want a chair that doesn't hurt my ass. This Victorian stool is going to be the end of me, you know? Like, this stool might literally be from the 1800s. I have no idea. I look like I'm gaming on the set of Bridgerton. I look like I'm gaming on... what's another show that might have this kind of thing? Either way, my ass hurts. Basically, that's what I'm getting at. My ass is really bothering me right now. It's very unpleasant. My drink splashed into my eye. You got your chair in an Office Depot and had it for at least 5 years? Well, I don't trust the Office Depot chairs around here. Especially because what Office Depot stocked 5 years ago is not equivalent to what they stock now because of the rise of like drop shipping and like all of those websites. Basically, it's complicated and very not nice. Demand of chairs hasn't gone down. It's not about demand in this case. It's about how they can afford to stock things. No, I'm not getting... I'm gonna sit here and be stubborn, so whether or not you agree with me is irrelevant here. Where's my braid? Yeah, exactly, Rye. And it's very different than 5 years ago. Like, they're not producing the same chairs that they were 5 years ago, even. Do I need to put on educational YouTube videos while we, rig things? Is that what I need to do? Because I am so fucking down. You guys know I love educational shit. I actually watched a video on something similar to this recently. I would just have to find it. Fuck it. Let me see if I can find it. It was literally... I remember, it was about Zara. Yeah. It's not just Shein. Why are all your clothes worse now? It's this video.
I'm shopping at Abercrombie.
And this is actually really relevant to why chairs are worse now too, believe it or not. So let's watch this while we rig, chat. Are you down? Me trying to find room for this shit. You guys know I like my educational videos, okay? Alright, so we're gonna watch this while we rig.
For the first time since I was in high school. Mildly triggering because this was like the coolest store back in the day, but I could never afford it because my family was middle class. Now that I'm here, I'm noticing two main things. One is that everything is kind of affordable, which was definitely not the case in high school. The other thing that I'm noticing is that everything is just a little bit shittier than you would want it to be. I'm seeing a lot of like loose threads on things and a lot of stuff that's just made out of 100% synthetic fabrics. The clothing just doesn't feel like this nice, firm, high quality that I associated with Abercrombie.
Abercrombie still does sell some high quality clothing.
Actually, I really like this dress and would totally buy it.
And I'm glad they've decided to start using normal lighting in their stores. But seeing so much cheap and low quality stuff there made me wonder, did clothing used to be better when I was a teenager? Not just at Abercrombie, but across the board. So I scoured eBay, Depop, and Poshmark for clothes from trusted brands of the 90s and 2000s. Then I went to those same stores and bought the 2024 version of each item.
Abercrombie was like legendary for really high quality denim.
To compare the old and new, I got help from Amanda McCarty.
I worked as a buyer in the fashion industry for about 20 years. In the span of my career, I saw how what we sell people changed. The two major changes, I would say, are one, nothing fits properly anymore. It's not
Like-
you, it's nothing about your...
Keep in mind, this is about clothes, but this is about this process, this delocalization of production has affected production of every good. Because you can get literally anything on all these dropshipping sites.
Your body, you're great. And two, the longevity of these clothes, even how you feel when you put them on, has degraded so much. It's just not a good deal.
It's not just in my head, it has gotten harder to find quality clothes that last, even at brands you used to like. If you're wondering why, keep watching. I want you to think about how many new pieces of clothing you bought last year. If you're anything like the average American, it was around 68. In 19
I did not buy that many pieces of clothing last year. I think I bought like definitely less than 20.
1980, that number was 12. But wait, it gets crazier. In the 80s, Americans spent about 7% of their annual income on clothes. Today, it's just 3%. We spend half as much, even though we're buying 5 times more. This Abercrombie ad from the 80s helps explain why. The high-quality wool was a huge selling point. They even tell you exactly where it's from. And notice how they say this is part of their fall collection? Because in the 80s and 90s, stores only had new clothes a couple times a year. Usually a spring-summer collection and a fall-winter collection. And designers would start working on each collection up to 9 months in advance. Because clothing production takes a lot of work. They had to think of hundreds of unique designs and whittle them down to the dozen or so best ones, send the designs to the factory, go back and forth with them for months to create a prototype, choose the best fabric, the right embellishments, and figure out the proportions for different sizes. After all that, they'd place a massive order with the factory and then just pray the design would sell. It was kind of like a game of chance. You'd place 2 huge bets per year, and if your styles flopped, you'd be stuck with a whole bunch of clothes you'd have to sell at a discount or just throw away. That risk is why so much care and thoughtfulness went into making each piece of clothing, and why you could expect quality at every price point. Even discount stores like Sears or JCPenney.
You'd like to know where they got their
JCPenney
68 number?
advertised their suits.
It's probably among the people they surveyed, and they didn't account for like demographics. It was probably among like young women, if I had to guess. Cause like depending on where they did the survey or like what site ran the survey, that could definitely affect the number. I don't think it seems too high though.
In this ad from the 80s.
2-piece suits that are expertly tailored, classically designed, and have an elegant touch.
They're not selling you on the price or the trendiness, but on the craftsmanship and design. Even one of the cheaper suits on the market was still pretty high quality, which is probably why if you adjust for inflation, this $160 suit would cost $600 today. If you go to JCPenney now, you can easily get a 2-piece suit for under $200. So in the 80s and 90s, people were buying fewer clothes, but they'd be well-made pieces that would be worn for years. And keeping up with all the trends, well, that was something only wealthy people could do.
Pull the latest Briones and charge them to our account.
Yes, ma'am.
What are Briones?
6 months of my car payments plus a car.
Then came a little store called Zara, and everything began to change. The New York Times coined the term fast
I have no idea
fashion
where to put
in
this window.
1989 article about the first US store of Zara. The latest trend is what we're after, a Zara executive told the Times. It takes 15 days between a new idea and getting it into the stores. Remember, that took most stores 9 months. How did Zara do it in 15 days? By streamlining this part of the production process with something called greige goods. Rather than manufacturing overseas, Zara built their own high-tech factories in Spain, all connected to headquarters by an underground monorail. There, robots working around the clock cut and dye fabrics to create unfinished, uncolored pieces that can be turned into any garment. Once a design is created, Zara can send those greige goods to their network of small shops in nearby regions, where they're transformed into finished dresses, trousers, and tops. Instead of huge orders, Zara makes a small batch of each style to start with. The retail stores can then send feedback to headquarters about what's selling and what's not, and they can quickly ramp up production on whatever's popular, restocking within days if needed. It massively reduced the risk that came with clothing production. Instead of losing money on clearance sales
I don't know where to put this.
unsold goods, Zara's styles
I gotta make it
often sell out
smaller.
quickly. The designers don't have to predict trends a year in advance. They can just respond to fashion trends as they emerge, though sometimes that gets a little sketchy. For example, here's a look from the high fashion designer Celine from a collection that debuted on the Vogue.
You guys have no idea about clothes. Like, when I was buying clothes, I definitely, like, I was buying fairly fashionable stuff for like a while. Like right after COVID, because it was exciting to go out again. And I'm just here to tell you that number is not crazy, especially considering like the less money you have, the more pieces of clothing you have to buy because your clothes are wearing out quicker. Like, that is not a crazy number whatsoever. Especially, like, that's such a normal number. It's such a normal number.
Runway in 2013. This skirt would have retailed for at least $1,000. And here's a very similar looking skirt selling on Zara's website for just $80. According to the Wayback Machine, Zara had this skirt for sale by August, which would have been just a few weeks after Celine's version landed in boutiques. These runway knockoffs and how quickly Zara could get them into stores were wildly popular. By August 2008, Zara's parent company Inditex became the world's largest fashion retailer. This is also when you had the rise of two other fast fashion giants of the new millennium, Forever 21 and H&M.
Why is it not
pioneered a new
selecting
way
what I
to
needed
bring
to
the
select?
runway to the masses. They'd partner with luxury designers to make exclusive lines for H&M at affordable
That's like
prices.
1.4 pieces of clothing per week. No one buys just one piece of clothing at a time.
Starting with Karl Lagerfeld in 2004.
God, is it true? Of course it's true.
This part of the story, it seems sort of like a win for the 99%. Fast fashion was making it so that anyone could wear runway designs while they were still popular. That was a new thing. Of course, encouraging lots of consumers to buy low-cost clothes that would go out of style quickly would shockingly have some downsides too, but we'll come back to that. Because we can't give the minds behind Zara and H&M all the credit for the rise of fast fashion. We also have to give some credit to Bill Clinton? No, not because of his sick style. In 1994, President Clinton signed NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, which made it cheaper to make clothes in Mexico. And a few years
Why
later,
won't it let me
he
select
normalized
anything? I
trade
think I have to
relations with
restart
China.
live TV.
Textile factories started moving out of the US because now clothing retailers had access to the largest pool of cheap labor in human history. Luckily, there was a law from the 70s, the multi-fiber arrangement, which limited how much clothing American and European countries could import from other nations. Unfortunately, the World Trade Organization let it expire 5 days of fast fashion. Because now, there was nothing stopping companies from producing everything in the countries with the lowest wages, the fewest labor laws, and the laxest environmental regulations. We've arrived at the fashion landscape that I remember from my teens. In the 2000s, you had 4 distinct buying options ranging in price and quality: high fashion or luxury brands, department stores, mall brands, and fast fashion. But these days, it kind of feels like the bottom of this pyramid has collapsed and everything's a little cheaper and shittier. J. Crew, Anthropologie, Abercrombie, these didn't used to be considered fast fashion, but now they arguably are. And that's because of 2 very big things that changed the experience of shopping into the hellscape.
Why won't this
of
thing
today.
open?
The first is the 2008 financial crisis. Middle-class consumers no longer had as much money to spend, so they began drifting over to cheaper options.
While all of the other non-fast fashion retailers were struggling, Forever 21 was opening store after store after store. H&M, the same thing. Zara is spreading into other cities. And so the conversation began, how do we compete here? What if we continue to show the same prices on the price tags that we always have? But we know that we're going to sell most of the units of that style on sale. And we planned for that.
So let's say this dress costs $40 to make, and it retailed for $100 in 2007. In 2010, during the recession, the retailer would keep the price tag at $100, but expect that most pieces will only sell once it goes on sale. So they'll only spend, let's say, $15 to make it, so they'll still make a profit. And how do you make clothes for cheap? Well, by making cheaper clothes. You add synthetic materials like polyester instead of selling pure natural fibers like cotton and wool. You skimp on details like pockets, buttons, and zippers, and offer less sizes. I could see all these things play out in the clothing I bought, like these men's jeans from Abercrombie from the 2000s versus now. The vintage pair weighs a hefty 761 grams and is 100% cotton.
They feel substantial, long-lasting, really high-quality denim. They have a decent amount of distressing on here that was probably done by hand to sort of break down areas, make them softer. In the fast fashion era, a lot of this is skipped, where it's just like, let's just spray them with acid or do other things that are actually very toxic.
The new pair weighs less at 720 grams and is a cotton elastane blend.
Yeah,
This is
it's synthetic
fast fashion
fabric.
trend of, okay, if we add a little bit of stretch, it will fit more people theoretically, and they'll be less likely to return them. But putting elastane in jeans shortens the lifespan pretty significantly. Those elastane fibers that are woven in here, they're plastic and they break. And the more you wash them, the sooner they break. But you get into the cycle where you have to wash the jeans more often to get them to go back to size because they get stretched out.
The other main difference between these jeans, the zippers.
We have a legit, luxurious zipper. Long-lasting, 100% metal. They smoothly go up and down. These are things that you take for granted until you get a bad zipper. The new pair, when you were trying to unzip these, that sound, you can feel like this zipper is going to be a problem soon. This is a difference of maybe 50 cents, but it's a pennies game to get the pricing to work with the targets you're given.
Another area that you can really see how quality degraded is with sweaters. We compared an Anthropologie sweater from today to a vintage sweater made in the 90s.
This sweater is Liz Claiborne, which is like Anthropologie before Anthropologie.
The vintage sweater is 100% wool. The one made today is 100% polyester. The vintage sweater has metal buttons. The other one has no buttons at all. The vintage sweater is a size medium. The one made today is one size.
When I see one size in something, I'm like, oh, it's because they couldn't afford to buy it in sizes to meet the margin targets.
Even with all these cost-cutting measures, traditional retailers were struggling. And that's around the time private equity firms started buying them up, saddling them with debt, and letting all the business decisions be made by finance bros whose idea of fashion is that Patagonia vest over a gingham shirt. And on top of all that, there's still that other huge change that I mentioned.
You've
the
never
final
seen
death
one
knell in
size?
quality
It's
clothing,
very
the internet.
common.
Social
Socks,
media and
sweaters,
fast
that kind of
fashion are a
thing.
match made in heaven. Social media helps shorten our attention spans, which extends to fashion trends too, which cycle through faster and faster. That makes fast fashion indispensable to influencers who rely on a steady stream of new clothes for their content. This puts pressure on all of us to wear a totally unique, never-before-seen outfit every single day, which is pretty hard.
Lizzie McGuire, you are an outfit repeater.
I guess now it's time to talk about Shein, Zara's more chaotic little sister, the logical conclusion of fast fashion. Shein is a company that focuses on selling as much hyper-trendy, super low-quality clothing they can for mind-blowingly cheap prices. Shein raked in close to $10 billion in 2020. It's currently the biggest clothing retailer in the world, even beating out Amazon in the US. Shein is not just fast fashion, it's instant fashion. Zara can get products from drawing board to store in 15 days, Shein can do it in 3. Zara can release 35,000 new items of clothes per year. Shein will release that many in just a couple weeks. So how do they do it? Rather than functioning as a cohesive clothing manufacturer with its own factories like Zara, Shein is more like Amazon, a huge marketplace selling clothes from thousands of independent Chinese factories. And it treats those factories sort of like Uber treats its drivers. The factories are hooked up to Shein's software that collects real-time feedback about which items are selling well and which aren't. The software then sends alerts to the factory owners' phones to ramp up or slow down production. It's Zara's small batch production on steroids. And just like other billionaires, Shein finds creative ways to avoid US taxes. See, when you buy something from Shein, your clothes are shipped to you directly from the factory in China. There's no big Amazon-style warehouses in the US full of Shein dresses. And since packages valued at under $800 can enter the US duty-free, Shein merchandise is pretty much always exempt from consumer goods tariffs. That exemption, it's called de minimis, was originally created so you could buy a rug or a lamp while you're on vacation and ship it back to yourself without having to pay tariffs. Not for big clothing retailers. 50 years of fast fashion and
as someone who
ultra-fast
supplies
fashion
stuff like
has
this to companies, it all comes from the same factories. It's just relabeled. I know, that's like exactly what I was trying to convey earlier, like with the chair question. It's very similar with like every single kind of good today. It's not just clothes.
completely changed our relationship with clothes. Instead of being something to cherish and care for, they're now just another cheap and disposable plastic consumer good. Thanks to fast fashion, clothing retail is in a race to the bottom death spiral. Everything is fast fashion now. And the thing is, all this overproduction, it doesn't just affect clothing quality. When private equity and fast fashion companies greedily maximize their profits no matter what the cost, that hurts workers across the entire textile supply chain.
Yeah, you can see the same model of chair with a different name on Amazon easily. On Amazon, yeah, but my point was more that it affects local retailers as well, because it's harder to find the production of the good chairs anymore because they're all being put out of business by these lower tier chairs, and they're using like the same suppliers that Amazon is. So they technically have like the same stuff that you can find on Amazon, but they're selling it like slightly more expensive or whatever. Like finding an actual chair that's like made decently is gonna be hard. Even in local stores. That's my point, you know?
Now, mass-producing clothing has always relied on extremely exploitative labor and dangerous working conditions. But as the industry gets bigger, the casualties and abuses do keep growing. Like when a garment factory collapsed in Bangladesh in 2013, killing over 1,000 workers. But the fast fashion companies that produce clothes there hardly faced any accountability. So it's no surprise that nearly 10 years later, a 2021 investigation by Public Eye, a Swiss human rights group, showed that factories that supply Shein are crowded and unsafe, with blocked emergency exits and people regularly working over 75 hours a week. Slavery is still an issue too. According to recent investigations, anywhere between 20 and 30% of clothes being sold in the US contain cotton from Xinjiang, a region in China with cotton farms that rely on forced labor from Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities.
The prices that we are offered on these clothes, that are the prices we're willing to pay, are not based in a reality where everybody involved is paid a living wage and works under good conditions. I mean, they're built off of cutting corners and exploitation.
Now, I want you to once again think of all those new clothes you bought last year. How many of them will you still be wearing next year? The year after? The average American gets rid of 81 pounds of clothes per year, and that's nothing compared to the hundreds of billions of pounds of unsold clothing and returns that manufacturers and retailers throw away. No one actually knows how much exactly it is, but we do know that you can see the world's textile waste from space. This mountain of discarded clothes in Chile's Atacama Desert grows by 39,000 tons per year. The polyester that's in almost all clothing these days will take centuries to decompose. None of this bad PR is slowing down textile production at all. Shein is on the verge of an IPO on the London Stock Exchange with a $64 billion valuation.
Now they're talking about finance, and I have no idea what they're talking
The
about.
fast fashion industry seem unstoppable, but there are people fighting back. First, there's that de minimis tax exemption we talked about that allowed Shein to evade tariffs. A bipartisan group of lawmakers are trying to close that loophole. Meanwhile, New York lawmakers have introduced legislation to create, for the first time, legally binding environmental and labor standards for the industry. And dozens of brands have been investigated for using cotton from Xinjiang, including H&M, Nike, Uniqlo, Burberry, and Shein. But there's still a lot to be done, and the industry is going to fight every step of the way. Remember when I said Shein's IPO is in London? The reason they're not doing it in New York is because they didn't want to comply with US regulations that would force them to make disclosures about forced labor in their supply chain. They haven't given up though. They're lawyering up and lobbying against those regulations. Fast fashion is the story of unchecked corporate greed in a bargain for lower prices for, well, you. Though, as we've shown, that hasn't actually worked out for consumers. We need lawmakers to continue cracking down on corporations like Shein, because we all deserve clothes that look and feel good, but don't require exploiting workers and destroying the planet just to be affordable. Thanks for watching The Classroom. We're always looking to tell more stories like this one, exposing greedy corporations and unpacking economic systems that impact all of our daily lives. What other issues do you want to see us cover? Sound off in the comments, and again...
So yeah, that's part of why manufacturing and everything's shittier these days. Through the context of clothing. Hope that helps. Anybody have any questions? I was gonna say something and I forgot. Oh yeah, last night I was trying to fall asleep. I was having a very difficult time falling asleep. So I started watching YouTube videos, and at one point I turned on a Pokemon video where we were trying to see if Silver in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, so like the rival, is actually able to beat every single gym leader and get to Victory Road. And somehow the beginning of the video is just an analysis of different voting systems, democracy, and like how it affects and how it converges to two-party voting systems. It was crazy. Yeah, I just want a chair that's not gonna end up in a landfill in like less than 6 months, so it was a lot more important to me to get a chair that would last than the price. I literally didn't care about the price of the chair, so... Actually, that's not quite true. I didn't care about the price of the chair unless it was Herman Miller price, because I couldn't You good there? Unless it was Herman Miller price. Veritasium has an excellent video on voting systems. Well, that wasn't my point. My point was that I was watching a nice little Pokemon video about can Silver make it to Victory Road, and it turned into a video about voting systems. So I don't really care about that. It sounded like he had watched the Veritasium voting video, and he wanted to spread it to more people who might not normally watch educational stuff, but it went on a little bit too long, so I expect it hurt his engagement. Because, like, the whole time, I was expecting it to turn into, like, a sponsor or something, so there would at least be a reason for it. But it genuinely seemed like he only put it in there to, like, educate people, which is awesome. For me, at least. You love to be uneducated? I like watching educational content too much to enjoy being uneducated. If they want me to be uneducated, they should stop making the education so interesting. Look, that's me. That's me, chat. That's me. 2 watching? Wow. I'm on the front page of YouTube, and it's totally not because I usually have that open so I can see chat on that account. I'm just naturally on the front page. I will say, it's so much easier for me to work when I have, like, someone to talk to. Makes my life so much easier. Even if someone is, like, mini someone's, like, right now. I really do like it. So yeah, you might be like, wow, this doesn't look that great. And the reason it doesn't look that great is because this is all one layer. You're not really supposed to move stuff like this in one layer. But when we go to like the entire physics setting thing, sorry, it's not set up yet, give me a second. It'll look pretty good. Because it's moving all at once and you're not going to be looking at all the like little tiny annoying things. I don't know. Are they supposed to move? I don't know. Maybe I need 2 sections, one for each grade. I don't think I want them to move like that. I'll figure out if I'm reflecting it later. I think I will, but this is what it looks like for now. We also need some of the like jiggly stuff in here. You think that's called body doubling? I mean, I don't really see it as body doubling. I just see it as someone being around for me to say stuff to and someone being around for me to feel accountable to. I don't need some fancy word for it. I just like company while I work. This isn't some grand work strategy, you know? What I think I'm gonna do... Yeah. Wait, you have 100% opacity? You both do? Okay, let's tone that down. You heard it as a term for people with ADHD when looking into your special ability? Yeah, but like... I'm not... It's not that deep, I guess, is what I'm getting at. In my case, at least. What I want to do is flip horizontally. And then change to element 1. I think that's fine. Or would I want it reflected? I don't fucking know. Whatever, let's just attach them for now. Wait, I glued everything? Why did I do it like that? Oh, 'cause it was easier. Ah, it was easier. That explains everything. Exactly. I found a game that I want to play, and it's literally like, it's a dating sim. I want to play a dating sim. I thought about playing it on stream, but I decided I don't want to play it on stream, because then I'd have to only play it on stream, and that sounds like too much work. Especially when my ass hurts. Persona 5? Cute fox? Isn't she? Isn't she? This is what she looks like with her jacket as well. Hang on. You started streaming Date Everything and now you can't play it alone? Exactly. But no, it's a Korean FMV game, so. Is this Nia? If you have to ask that question, you're not a true Nia fan. You're not a true Nia fan. Oh, I'm stupid. You know what? This. Everything is so difficult! Okay. So we just move this side to side. Yippee. We have decided this is the fake one. Why is it already moving side to side? Is it because you exist? Delete. Okay, okay, okay. So you will move this way. It looks bad. How do I make it look less bad? Glue weight! the fuck did I do this? You love glue? I don't love glue right now. I might love glue later, but I don't love glue right now. I actually don't know how I did this. Ow! Ow! Sorry. My butt. It hurts, okay? Hi, Sandals! How are you? Hope you've been doing okay. I think I just moved it less far on the other one. Other one moves like... Wow, twisty. You got a Hydreigon? Where? How? On my stream? Oh, yeah. It's a stream avatar. You can use it if you wish. Alright. So now if we look at the hair... Hello, Glurek. Wow, she's so jiggly. I like the bangs. I can't stop looking at the bangs, chat. The bangs. I'm not anti-glue today. I'm anti-glue with an E today. Should I finish the hair? Her hair looks so emo when it's stretched out like that. It's crazy how just like a few tiny adjustments make so much difference sometimes. God damn it. What the fuck? Okay. Enter. Do the thing. That's crazy that this is the one that is making this flop around weirdly. I would not have expected that. I definitely think the braids need to be going different directions. It is annoying me. How do you guys think her ear looks when she looks up and down? I think the ear is good. You think it's good? Thanks! It was really hard because it's all one layer. So I had to figure out how to like mesh it where I could also give it dimension. Definitely gonna need to refine the chin, but I think there's no good way to refine the chin until I also like do the face. Because right now the face is just moving up and down, so I don't really know how the perspective should look. This white line is pissing me the fuck off though. I think my perfume is giving me a headache. I smell too much like roses, chat. Bro. Insert isn't on, right? It would appear I wouldn't even know if insert is on because my keyboard is broken and the lights don't work. Anyway. Where did it go? Where did the thing that I just added in here go? Okay, there it is. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I'm not gonna crash out at live today. I'm not gonna crash out at live today. I want to do the ahoge. I've decided we're doing the ahoge now. You hope I'm sitting down? Unfortunately, I am sitting down. My ass is killing me. I'd like to be not standing down. I wonder if I should rig standing up, but that sounds like a lot of work. I've never really used this desk standing up. I don't know. Oh, yeah, no. The cords don't really reach all the way up. I had never planned for this. Oh well. I guess we're not doing that. Okay, so how is this a Hoge rig? Does it have its own stuff? Would probably be in hair physics if I had to guess. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, by the way, you think I will need to brace myself for the next message? Consider me braced. Paka, this was also one layer, the head back in the ahoge, and I decided I was gonna separate it myself. Thankfully, I don't have hippopotamonstrossequipedaliophobia, so I am not in fear. This person makes really good art, like the way they did even this. Like the little pieces of hair and stuff is amazing, but I don't know that they have the most time in like cutting live 2D models. What is this? I cut it weird. That's what it is. What if I just tuck it in? You think anyone will notice if I just like tuck this in? Oh yeah, the hair shadow. Also one layer, if you're wondering. If you're wondering what I'm doing. This is what the hair shadow started out like. I cut it up myself. How do I do this? Blend shapes? No, I just sliced it. I just cut it up myself. And am now suffering the consequences. And then, to keep it from, like, overlapping, I just slapped it on another layer and did, like, the thingy, the hack for that. That looks better-ish. That looks good enough. I think that's a better way to say that. When you suddenly see something that makes it not look good enough. Anyway, what am I doing now? I was doing the ahoge. Why did I delete the keyform? Let's pull out my handy dandy assistant tool because I can and not because it's necessary here at all. Do I want them to be blend shapes? I don't think so. I know this isn't blend shape, but... yeah, fuck it. Make it a blend shape. Me and my head almost always blend it. Exactly. I lost the ahoge. There it is. Can I add... no. I was hoping I could add, I don't even remember what they're called right now in my brain. Warp deformers, but it looks like no. I do wish that the Live 2D editor actually used your RAM instead of not using your RAM. That would be really cool. That would make me happy for sure. Wow, it hates this. It hates this so much. But it doesn't look that bad. Salutations? That's a way to greet someone. Hello, Rocket. That's a way to greet someone. Hello. What is this? Editable blend shape. I don't know what that is. It'd be so nice if it didn't become a clusterfuck. That'd be pretty cool. Unclusterfuck yourself. See, that's not what I told it to do, though. I didn't tell it to become straight. How dare it? We are an LGBTQ friendly space. And I don't think this Ahoge is participating as it should. The day you learned about the unclusterfuck tool, what else could it be though? That it literally just is that. That is what it is. So however, I think it must stay clusterfucked here, because yeah, otherwise it really wants to be straight. I have an idea though. What if I just tell it to do this, but like down here? So now it's clusterfucked, but like in only the places I don't care about. Huh? 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 Hi, Drago. My ass is reaching the end of its durability, though. How long have I been streaming? I want to keep going. Not even 2 hours? This is pathetic. It simply will not do. Hey Paka, what you doing? Marbles? Are you playing marbles with people? Solo? Because I was actually gonna ask you if you wanted to play marbles, so... If you let me finish the ahoge? Okay, we play marbles after I finish the ahoge. And also, make my ass stretch for a minute, because it is killing me. Manual unclusterfucking is sometimes just so much easier, you know? Like, I am not supposed to be working on the hair first, by the way. Nobody does hair physics first. I'm just deranged, I guess. And I don't know, I thought it would be fun. And it was! It was very fun. But then I have to do all the unfun stuff. That will inevitably be fun when I actually do them, but whatever. Ooh, that looks horrible. That is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I don't think the path deform tool is gonna go for this one. Let's just do it the way I've, like, done it before I knew about deform tools. What if I just do that? What could possibly go wrong? Honestly, that'd be great if I didn't do it in the wrong place. It'd be fine, not great. God damn it. Fuck it. What if I just, like, make it look like it's from a Dr. Seuss novel and curl that shit up like a spiral? I kinda don't hate it. We send it. Why is it so much easier to uncurl it than curl it? Why did it get longer? Look, it's doing bicep curls. Ahoge curls. Mia's Ahoge will get buff. I'm so bad about like putting my hand in front of my face when I'm rigging, because I'm like resting on it. Yeah. Yeah. How do I feel about this? I don't know. It's not as bouncy as the rest of the hair. I feel like it needs to, like, have more on the first one. That's better. Now it matches the rest of the hair a lot better. And maybe like a little less on this one. Yeah, good enough. Okay, if you were just here for rigging, I appreciate you. I'm going to play Marvel Rivals because I want to. I'm also gonna close Minecraft. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Egg. Okay, I am changing the Twitch category, and I think I'm just gonna end the YouTube stream for now, because I don't feel like... I don't know. I'm just here. I'm just here because I want to hang out with you guys. What else can I say? Just finishing a match? No rush. Marble Rivals. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I was ending the YouTube stream. And changing the layout.